Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, SPEC, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Welcome to Rugby AM, what has been an epic season. We've been up and down the country, engaging thousands of fans, hundreds of players, and loads of amateur clubs getting into the grassroots. It's been a bigger, better, stronger, faster, harder season, would you not agree?
It finished well, Simo. It finished pretty well. No, it's good, mate. It's been good. It's been interesting. There's been a lot of points of view on subjective opinions of how this season's been, but you can only play the cards you dealt, and managed to finish well as a player, but like you said, I've been really excited to go up and down the country and see little pockets of rugby league.
Right now, it is time for England. We are at the England press conference. Jonesy, firstly, let's talk about the selection. Are you disappointed that more Leeds players aren't in the mix?
I'd like to see Leeds players obviously playing, but I've looked through the selection and I quite like it.
Yeah.
You look at that and there's no arguments whatsoever from me, and you think, great players right.
Would you not have taken Tompkins?
Well, that's the interesting one. When you really start to raise your eyebrows, it's when you're looking at players that aren't involved.
Yeah.
You know, staple diet players like your Tompkins, like your Liam Farrells, like Darryl Clarks, who are not involved, and you think, wow, that's a tough phone call to tell players of that calibre that they're not playing. There are some big omissions, but that said, it's a subjective thing again. I'm sure they'll go over there and they'll put the best foot forward. I'm looking forward to seeing them play.
Right, let's go meet some of the people in the mix, in the squad, find out how they feel to be flying off to Australia to represent their country in the Rugby League World Cup. You went all the way to Australia before, didn't get
warmed up,
didn't get to run on. Are you fearful it could happen again?
Honestly, no, because from the squad, I think he's gone with lads who he knows can do it and lads in form, and I don't think anyone could sit there out with that squad and say that's the 17 for Australia now. I don't think any expert could pull that out the bag and say that's the 17. So I'm just going to go there, mate, train as hard as I can, like always, and try and rip it up if we get a chance in the friendly, and do everything I can to get picked against the Aussies. If I do everything I can and don't get picked, then so be it. I'll train hard again the week after, but I'm just going there with an open mind and just think, right, I'm going to work hard.
You're a lion, you know. Do you know what that means? That if you play for England or Great Britain away from home, you become a lion. It's a very, very exclusive club. I think there's about 500 players in the history of the game. So it's massive. If you get that jersey on over there, you become a lion. That must mean a lot to you.
I know, mate. Unbelievable. You don't even dream about it as a kid, do you? And World Cup once every 4 years, and it's madness, but I'm just trying to take it all in at the minute and just get ready to fly up there Thursday and, like I said, rip in from as soon as we get there.
You're going to get stuck into them?
Yeah, we're going to have to, mate, aren't we? Why not?
He's got a right sense of humour, as Alex Simmons, always putting me with the Wigan players. John Bateman, mate, you're a good man, really. It's always been great to play against you. Do you know what? I talk a lot about you, because one of my one of my observations is that Super League hasn't got the amount of competitors that it used to have, but you're definitely one of them. How have you enjoyed this season?
Yeah, it's been good, mate. Obviously, it's been a bit up and down for me. Obviously, we're having a bit of an injury before in World Cup Challenge, coming off a big eye like that and stuff. But like I said, it's part and parcel of the game. It is what it is, and obviously to get picked in this team now, it's fantastic, mate. You know what I mean? Obviously, personally, off my season myself, obviously it's all right, but you know what I mean. As a team for Wigan, probably want the best. Probably could improve massively, but it's what it is now, innit?
Mate, I remember 2008, 5 weeks at World Cup away from home. Now I do get nosebleed and my teeth start falling out when I go to places like Wigan, and I'm out of Bramley for more than 2 hours. The 5 weeks nearly finished me off. Now this is a bit longer. This is a massive tour after a big long season. How do you deal with that personally? Is that something that bothers you, or are you just a young lad loving the experience and just going gun ho?
Yeah, it's a bit of both. Obviously, I've got a little girl and family and stuff like that, mate, and it's going to be hard, but you know what I mean, she understands what my job is and stuff like that, and like I said, it's 6 weeks in Australia and son, mate, so that'll do me, but you know what I mean, it's one of them things you just have to get on with it anyway, like, you know what I mean, there's a big prize at the end of it, and that's what our aim is, and I think that's what everyone in the squad, obviously everyone's the same, you can't moan about it and stuff like that, because we're all in the same boat at the end of the day. We'll all crack on with each other and we'll all help each other out if we're missing home and stuff. And it's only a first time away, innit, you know what I mean? We can always talk to each other and stuff like that. So yeah, it's just one of them things.
Mate, I'm really happy that you're representing England in your own our side. I'm not a Wigan fan, but if I was, I'd have either Bateman or McLaurin on the back of my shirt, because you're both great competitors.
Cheers, mate.
Go over there and smash them.
Thank you very much. Cheers,
Paul.
You have got a great squad around you, even without Tompkins, without Stevie Ward. Wayne's, you can't debate with Wayne Bennett. He's won it all, done it all, been there. The squad he's taking is the squad he wants, and it's the squad that he thinks can lift the World Cup for England. When you look around the squad, there's some real talent there, some real hope for England.
Yeah, there is definitely, and there's some new faces as well. Ben Curry, he's not played for England yet. He's a massive talent.
He's quick.
Yeah, he's quick. For a big bloke, he's pretty quick. I wouldn't fancy catching him. So yeah, people like him, Mike McMeekin, are going some more, and it's good to see people around my age. It's pretty good to see them in the same team.
Looking ahead to 2021, we don't want to look too far ahead, because obviously we're in 2017, but we've got to succession plan, we've got to plan for your future. Like you mentioned there's some real good characters of a certain age that are going to be around in 2021, big part players. And hopefully you're going to be a big part of that. It's exciting for the future. It's exciting for England.
Yeah, it is massive. We had a man speak before, and he said average age is 25, so it's not old at all. And I think me, Mark Percival, John Bateman, Ben Curry, the list goes on. We're all 22, 23, and when that next one comes, we'll be 26, 27 with a lot more experience.
Is it an issue that none of the English lads, apart from Chris Heitington, made the eights in the NRL? Do you think that's going to have any bearing? Is it good because they're a bit more rested, or do you think that they've missed out on that last bit of competitive action? That
I think they were competitive throughout the year. When you look at Elliot and Josh and the Canberra mix, and you look at how well Gareth Widders played, and even though Souths have had a really tough year this year, you see how competitive Sam's been. Tom's worked really hard, and George works really hard, and like I say, the Burgess boys have stuck at it, and so there's been a lot of competitiveness within that group up until a point. They've been rested, they've been training really hard, they're ready to go. I don't think that playing for them personally, they'd love to have been involved in their finals. For us, it gave Sam a chance to recover from some bumps and bruises. Like I say, James had a chance to get himself settled again and get what's next for him internationally. And when you look, Gareth's had a great year. Josh and Elliot have been outstanding for their club, so I don't think it's a play on form. The World Cup's going to offer a different level again to them, so I think they're excited by what's next.
It sounds really odd for me to say welcome back to England side, because you're always a staple part of the England setup, or normally, but it's been a few years. How do you feel about being back in?
Yeah, I'm obviously made up to be back involved. I didn't get selected in the mid-season and the back end of last year, so obviously been out the last couple of times, but yeah, just really happy to be back in the fold, and getting the chance to go and play in a World Cup in Australia. You don't get them too often, so know how lucky I am, and I'm really looking forward to it.
It's funny, because I think about my career sometimes, and it feels like I've been playing forever, but you're one of the people that seems to have been around in opposition forever as well. And when you stopped being picked for England side, did it come to you and make you think maybe you're coming to the end of your career, you're getting to that 30-year-old where everybody thinks he's starting to finish, or do you think, no, I'm going to persevere here and get myself back in?
Yeah, and it never crossed my mind that that was my time up, if you know what I mean. I just obviously thought other people have been selected, and they've warranted selection, fair play to them. I wasn't bitter about it, but at that same time I was just kind of play as best as I can for St Helens week on week, and hopefully I can work my way back in, and lucky enough I've done that.
And Justin Holbrook, when he's come in, there's been a bit of a correlation, if you like, with James Robbins coming back at his best, looking really sharp out of dummy half. And you can almost see it and hear it in some of your interviews as well. You seem to have enjoyed the time that he's had there. Has he been influential?
Yeah, I think obviously early on in the year we wasn't doing very well, and obviously Justin came in, and it was probably just a little bit of a change and some little tweaks that maybe we maybe needed at the time, and obviously we've done really well end of the year, and like you say, I seem to have, my form's picked up a little bit. I probably down to some little tweaks that we've done as a team have probably helped me as an individual and helped me look a bit better. But yeah, I'm happy with how I'm playing, and Justin's he's a great coach.
I've noticed as well, one of the ways to sweeten a coach up is not just being influential on the pitch, but being influential off it as well. Now, being in a key position like number 9, obviously you're already an influential player. But what do you bring off the field as well? Do you think about being more of an older statesman and contributing to game plans and philosophies behind the group?
A little bit, yeah. I think obviously you'll know yourself. One of the kind of that transition almost to one of the older ones, and I've always naturally been one of the a little bit quieter, not very vote, but kind of made a bit of a conscious effort the last couple of years, or especially this year, to open my mouth a bit more and and kind of pass on kind of whatever experiences or knowledge I've got, and be a bit more demanding at times. But yeah, I suppose that's part and parcel of your kind of career transitional period, if you like, as an older player. You've got to do that, and it's your kind of duty to pass on that knowledge to the younger generation.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, SPEC, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, SPEC, the specialist power contractor to industry.
Welcome to Rugby M, and we're here in Darkest Wrexham. We've just completed a 2-day training camp for Wales Rugby League. It's gone really well, and it's been rounded off with a game here at Queensway Stadium, Wrexham, where we've played against the students, and all objectives really have been achieved. And the best thing as well, from the practice game, we've come through without an injury there, so absolutely delighted.
So I'm really looking forward to going to Australia with the boys. It's going to be my last hurrah, as we say. I've played for a while now, and I can't wait.
Really excited. Been looking forward to it for a long time now. It's been in the back of my mind for like 3 years, wanting to make the team and that. And it's finally come around, and I'm in a 24-man squad. So really looking forward to it.
Yeah, really excited. It's only just sunk in now that we've all met as a group, and it's always really fresh to see all the lads after the season's gone, because it's a long season. Yeah, I think we need to make sure that we're playing at our best to compete against these good teams. There's not going to be an easy game, certainly for us. Our aim is to get to these quarterfinals, so hopefully we can achieve that.
To get my first cap, I was a bit gobsmacked, a bit surprised. I got the call, obviously, not so long ago, and I couldn't actually believe I actually gone to the World Cup itself. It's one of them things. Playing today were absolutely great as well. Obviously, getting on that pitch and just with the Welsh boys themselves, and learning a lot as well, just through players that I haven't actually played with, and I've seen on TV, and you sort of think to yourself when you're a young kid, wow, that's amazing. Look at them players they're doing, and to do it yourself and play with them and against them as well. It's it's a dream come true.
We're really excited because you don't get many life experiences where you can go to Port Moresby and challenge a Papua New Guinea team in an intimidating atmosphere in a nation where it truly is the national sport. So we're really looking forward to that. Then there's the challenge of Fiji, packed with NRL players in Townsville. Then obviously we've got a Celtic derby, shall we say, against Ireland in Perth. So all 3 games are very meaningful. All 3 games will be really difficult, but we're very confident that we can give a great account of ourselves.
I think it's just like going to a new environment and playing against a competition that I've never been in before, very experienced players and everything, and just testing myself against them, to be honest.
The highlight of my career, yeah, probably this is going to be my highlight of my career. Is having the opportunity to just finish on such a big stage is fantastic.
Well, I think everyone knows what PNG are going to come out with. They're big, strong, and a little bit crazy. So we need to just make sure that we're competing. These big lads, they could get a little bit tired in the heat. So we've got our tactics, and today we were putting them into place just so we can take that forward into the World Cup.
John Keir's a great coach. He's made me feel really, really welcome. he must have, I think on first day, he must have said if I'm all right about 6-7 times, and he really looks after the new boys and the young lads. He looks after everyone. He's given me a few pointers today, what to do, what not to do. I'm looking forward to, of course, working with him throughout the World Cup itself and finding out and learning as much as I can from him.
To go to Papua New Guinea, I'm really excited, and all the players are, because it's a life experience, and you don't get enough of those, and to go somewhere where the majority of people in the Northern Hemisphere will have been nowhere near, and the majority of rugby league people will have been nowhere near, we feel it's a privilege to go over there and challenge the Papua New Guinea team.
I think we'll go quite good, to be honest. We have every year. We've put out pretty good sides every year, depending on the experience we've had, wherever. It doesn't really matter because everybody just gets together and we're all looking for the same thing. That's to win at the end of the day. So, and we're all working towards it.
Yeah, we've got a very tough group. The first up, Papua New Guinea. There's no ifs or buts. It's going to be a very tough encounter, and we've got a great, hard-working, good bunch of boys, and that stick together. So we're excited by the challenges, and we're going to embrace it.
Yeah, the weather. It's gonna play a big difference. In my opinion, I think they were forecasted for 30 to 35 degrees. We experienced it with London once in Toulouse, and it was 30. I think it was 35, and it was really hard. I think we're gonna have to acclimatise fast when we get over there, and that week's prep, But it's gonna be a shock to the system.
Looking forward to the weather. Just seeing my idols, really. People, you're watching TV when you're younger, like the Burgess brothers, Jared Haynes, people like that, and he's actually in our group as well. It's going to be one of them things where I'm just going to be gobsmacked, so surprised actually to get on that pitch and play with them, and I just can't wait. I'm buzzing for it.
And there's a young lad that's just come in, Chester Butler. I think he's going to be a cracker and definitely one to watch out for the future. I think he got man at match against Warrington when they played Halifax, and you could just see he's a good raw-boned kid. And we've got another one, Ben Morris. Obviously, everyone knows Morgan Knowles and Regan Grace. It's just great, talented young lads, and I'm sure that they'll look forward to the encounters that are ahead.
Representing Wales is, it's I don't know how to put it into words, but growing up in Wales, following rugby union mainly, every Welshman wants to represent their country, and be it in any sport, every Welshman's very proud to represent their country. It's one of the highest honours that I could have, especially being vice captain as well. It's the biggest thing in my career, I think, so far, and to be playing in Oz as well, it's once in a lifetime experience.
There's no doubt about it. We've got a tough group. We're in with Ireland and Papua New Guinea, and our intergroup game is Fiji. So it is tough, but we feel that if we can achieve a win early on, we can get out of those group periods, and we can enter the knockout period, which would be obviously, if results go as we'd expect, it may well be England in Melbourne, and I, for one, would really welcome that.
My name's Phil Joseph, and these are my 5 toughest men I've ever played against. Number 5, Jamie Peacock, an absolute legend of the game, and I'm sure a lot of people will be saying him as well. He's just a tough competitor, and every time I've played against him, it's been a tough encounter against him, and I've always wanted to try and get one over on him, and we've had some good battles. When I played for Widnes, and he tried to bloody twist my ankle, and I just turned around and gave him a slap, and we just had a bit of an altercation on the floor, but nothing really that doesn't happen with any of us. But he's a champion of a bloke, and he's someone that I look up to. At number 4, Adrian Morley. He speaks for himself. He's had a fantastic career, and it was an honour, and it was a fiery encounter when we played against him. And Moz is a tough competitor, and he's another one that I look up to, and sort of modelled my game a little bit around. And I've played against him a couple of times, and every time I've played against him, he's tried to take my head off, and I've tried to do the same with him, and it was weird actually being sort of in the same sort of area of him when I signed at Salford, and we'd just sort of like talk about when we played against each other, which was fun and weird at the same time. So, but no, he's a great bloke and another guy that I've hold high regards to. At number 3, Gareth Hock. I had the opportunity to play with Gaz at Widnes, and I know he's had a lot of problems off the field, but as a bloke, he's a champion bloke, and he's one of my good mates. And to train alongside him and call him a friend and a teammate, and see actually how tough he is and the things he does off the field, and what people don't see about Gaz as well, because it really and truly is a great bloke, really. And I know in the press you don't see that, but you know, he's a very nice fella. At number 2, Gareth Carvell. Gaz, just an awkward individual, you know, and you look at Gaz and you think, look at that fat mess, but he'll just keep going and going. He'll keep going and going, and you know, I had the opportunity to play against Gaz a couple of times when I played at Widnes, and he was a standout player, and you know, we had some good battles against each other. So my number 1 of the toughest men is a weird one, really, because he's not a forward. Is somebody that helped me loads at Widnes being a coach, and he's someone that I admire with his toughness. But it's Brett Hodgson. You know, he's one tough individual. You know, you look at him and you think, God, I'll break him into next world. But you know, you might do, but he'll get up again and he'll keep going. And he's so intelligent as well. You know, and it was an honour to kind of play against him and you know, and watch him and sort of coach me as well. So yeah, that's my number 1 toughest.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
My name's Danny Addy. I play for Old Kingston Rovers. Loose forward is my position, or anywhere really. My nickname is Young Pie or Young Butty, one of the two. Yeah, what's your name?
Dale Ferguson, coming from Huddersfield Giants, second row. Yeah, nickname Fergie.
I don't know.
You could be up there. I've heard him say some good stuff about you.
Not a chance.
The X Factor.
No chance, mate. Do you still take cups of teas in, or have you jacked that in now?
No, I stopped it last year.
Have you stopped that? What is it now? Cakes?
Got me 4 Nations.
Well, you're strong, aren't you?
You've
got a strong neck. No, yeah. Look at what are you lifting now? Look at this. Stand up. Can you stand up?
I'm not standing up. You're a nugget.
Big Dale's strong, aren't you, Dale?
Addy, Jim, messing around.
He is strong. He's
not right strong. 160 bench press, starts firing them out. Yeah, good one, not strong.
I've never seen 160.
Yes.
Fergus gets that strongest. Well, it's not Johnny Walker. He's been out there a while now preparing, hasn't he?
He's getting used to conditions, isn't he?
Yeah, he's been doing like heat and altitude training. He said he'll meet us there, didn't he? Yeah. So yeah, not him. Or not me. I
think I'm allowed to wear them.
I think there's a few what are banned from wearing them. Probably Matt Russell again. Mythbusters.
He doesn't look good in them, to be honest, but I just know I'm not allowed to wear them.
Yeah, same. The Mythbusters, Matty Russell and Tierney, they'll probably look good in them, won't they?
Who would you say, General?
Cav.
Oh, Cav, yeah.
Cav's always, he don't put ball away. Like, you go for a coffee, he'll bring like a little size 3 LKR ball.
Yeah, he's always doing
fully pumped up. Gripping it, like spinning passes and that.
Yeah,
so probably
Cav. I'd say Cav.
Well, we've got we've got a christening, haven't we?
Yeah, we've got a christening that weekend. We
So can't make that one.
we played against Tonga in the 2013 World Cup, and there's big physical squad.
Yeah, obviously squad what's come out as well. There's a few lads what have come out at woodwork, a few unknown names, isn't there?
Yeah. And when they've put the team on paper, it is a class team. So
we're looking forward to it, mate.
It's a nice opener for us. The first one I faced was the World Cup 2013, probably same for you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And yeah, it's I don't know, it's a bit surreal sort of thing, because you're used to watching them on TV, and when you're face to face with them doing it, it's a little bit different, yeah. But it's what we've got paid to do, and you just got to take it on board and man up and get in.
Playing against people like Sean Johnson and Tamalolo and obviously big names like that, it's always good to, it's why you play really, and we're obviously big underdogs, and like in past we've caused a few upsets before and things like that, so we'll be definitely looking to cause a few more this year.
Played against Ben Roberts this year. He's a class act. Obviously, if you give him the space, he's going to burn you and stuff. So we'll leave it up to the coaching staff to take us through each game plan, and hopefully we can shut it down as much as we can. And touching, like Addy said, we're probably going to be underdogs for most of the games, and with some of the young boys we've got in, it's to test yourself against some of the best in the world. So it's a good opportunity for everyone. Yeah, obviously looking into the future with future World Cups coming and other tournaments and stuff. The big thing for Scotland is all about building. That's all we've done all the way up till Four Nations, 2013 World Cup and this World Cup. It's just getting the right youth through, making sure everyone's experienced enough with the big games that we have been up against, and just building, getting a good close-knit group together, and just hopefully be successful in the future. Not allowed to.
No, it's a dice roll if you put pants on. We'll definitely be checking, won't we?
That's your job, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll check. You have to stand on chairs like that, and I run under like and then you get a dice roll, so there'll be a few shaved heads in that this trip, won't there? Wait there. A few shaved heads like Big Dale.
Steve, you must be excited, but also a little bit nervous.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, excited is the main thing. I think, you know, I've been fortunate enough to have a couple of World Cups now, and this is my third World Cup, and you know, the excitement getting here and meeting the players, meeting the staff, you know, doing all the prep work. It doesn't get much better, you know, from a coach's point of view. So nervous as well. You know, it's a tough group. You know, we've got high expectations, but you know, we can't wait.
You've got your kilts. The kilts are officially ready. Are you going to don them with the boys as you walk through the airport?
We've got the coaching staff's got tartan trousers as well, so I'm quite lucky with that. But you know, it's a big part of the heritage. You know, the kilt. You know, we've got a special, you know, Scotland Rugby League tartan, which the players have worn over the last few years, and you know, that's a big part. You know, we're very proud of the nation, and you know, the players are very proud of the heritage, and obviously the kilt's a big part of the nation as well. So you know, it's a special occasion, and you know, kilt's warranted.
Last word before the boys get the kit on a man, Andy Last. You've got him in your setup. He's been phenomenal for Hull in the last couple of years. The lads joke that Pinky in the brain, him and Radders, but he's a good bloke. He's going to bring something a bit different to your team.
Yeah, he is, and you know, John Duffy's been great. You know, John Duffy was the assistant, and he's been with us for quite a long time. But John took a good role at Featherstone, and he felt as though his pre-season was really important to him. But to get Lasty on board is superb for us. You know, we go back a long way. In 1999, he actually coached Lasty for the Great Britain Young Lions. So, you know, I've known him for a long time. He's done a sensational job for Hull. Obviously, you know, Lee Radford, you know, speaks highly of him, and you know, they've had another great season, haven't they? They won the Challenge Cup, and you know, just fell short in Super League. But yeah, he's a big addition for us, Lasty.
Is it a guilty call-up because Steve's let you down in the past? Talk to us about your history with Steve.
Yeah, it's a funny one. Back in '99, played for Great Britain Academy with Richard Owen, Richard Fletcher, Jamie Jones, Buchanan, Chev Walker, all them type of guys. We played the Australian Schoolboys, and the Australian Schoolboys was littered with international. Mike Gasney, Jamie Lyon were the two centres, and Braithen Astor played, Corey Parker. Justin Hodges was full-back. Outstanding team it was.
And you've been training hard all week?
Training hard all week. A lad called Mark Smith, who was a Wigan regular, first team played about 15 games that season in first team. He was the starting 9, and me and Matt Diskin was the backup 9s. Unfortunately, Disco had a misdemeanour before the first test where he got kicked out of the team for drinking when he wasn't selected. So that didn't go down very well for Disco. And then Smithy played in the first test. We got beat, I think it was 20 points to 4 at Widnes. And Smithy got injured and obviously didn't train all week. And obviously the second test was at Boulevard.
You were running the plays at the Boulevard, home ground.
It was in the paper, last get call up. Me, Horney, Rich Fletcher, Dave Hodgson, thinking yes, good to go. And then just before team announcement on the morning of the game, Steve just giving me the yell, "You're not playing." Smithy's pulled himself in. So unfortunately, I'd done all the training, ready to go, and unfortunately I didn't met the team. But I'm missing out on a test match against Australia was obviously a real disappointing time for me, but that's sometimes the nature of the sport, and obviously I just supported the team and unfortunately got beat 12-4. Smithy ended up getting player of the match in the game, so it was a good call by Steve in the end to obviously pick him, but I still think if I'd have played, we'd have won.
Has it been a bit of a whirlwind for you, Shane?
Yeah, it's been crazy. Like, only found out Monday and I work as well, so wetting and sin work and had to explain it all to them, and they were all fine with it, to be fair, and it's just been absolutely mental this week, so I didn't even pack until last night, so it's been a bit crazy, yeah.
You're going to be playing against some world-class players like Tuivasa Sheck, Sean Johnson, Jason Tamalolo, Benny Roberts. It must be like a bit of a dream come true.
Yeah, it's obviously it's players that I watch week in, week out on the TV, but I try not to think about that. I'll just go out there and think about my own game, and then I can look back on it after it.
And obviously, representing your heritage, you must be really proud. Your family must be proud.
Yeah. Well, it's actually my late granddad which I will qualify for it. So, and it's my dad's dad, and he's obviously really proud, and I know that he'll be up there really proud as well. I've just been buzzing, honestly, all week, and I'm looking forward to getting out there with all the boys. Obviously, seeing them again, I know a few of them from playing with them, and I'm just really excited for it, to be honest.
Looking forward to Australia. You've got a few young boys who are getting a run. You're missing a bit of experience in Lachlan Court and players like that. But Brookfield be as competitive ever in a tough group. You're expecting a tough challenge.
Yeah, of course. It's always going to be tough in a World Cup like this, and especially our group. But that's what's going to bring the best out in us. It's going to make us play to our potential. And I'm looking forward to it.
Are you excited with the squad you've got?
Yeah, really excited with the squad we've got. In Danny Brough, we've actually got the best place kicker and goal kicker in the competition, and I'm looking forward to working with Brough again. I worked with him in 2005. He's our captain. He's our highest capped player. I'll be spending a fair bit of time with Brough and looking for him to lead this young group of men and put in a good performance. It is a tough group. I've looked at the Tongan squad in depth. The Samoan squad and the New Zealand squad. It's going to be tough, but there's weaknesses in them.
They ain't got half.
That's one of the big things. Lack a little bit of organisation, but they're a big powerful team. And what we've got to do, we've got to wear our bruises and then hopefully come up with a couple of trick plays and come up with a game plan which we can execute and help us to get on the front foot and get some good performances against them.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry. Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.
You don't know me. You've never seen me play. You don't know my name. You don't even know how to pronounce my name. I'm not a big star. You may think I'm a nobody, but nobody trains harder. Nobody wants it more. Nobody will surprise you. Nobody's tougher. Nobody. And come this October, who you don't know can hurt you.
What are you most looking forward to about being on tour with the boys?
Just being on tour with the boys. It's a great crack with all the lads. We've got a good group. Most of them have sort of been in and around it, and we've got a few new faces thrown in the mix. So I'm sure it's always strange at this time when you're just meeting up and setting off, because the new boys, you don't really know what they're about and stuff, but once you get over there and you start mixing together and loosening up a bit and everybody gets comfortable, that's when you get to know what everybody's like, and you start having a good crack with the lads and start kicking on, and you feel like you're on a tour.
Have you got those Churchillian speeches ready to deliver to the boys in the change room, get them fired up?
No, not really, no. I just try and think about what's going through my head at that time and try and get the message across to the lads, and hopefully we enjoy it and we have a good dig, and we try and aim for that quarter-final tie.
After a great season in Super, we've got a couple of boys who want to speak to next, and one of them in particular, Big Mull, he's got his first ring as a Super League champion. Leeds obviously getting over the line at the end, but it must be good for you guys to have two lads who've just picked up that trophy, full of confidence coming in, especially in the forwards, because you've got a great pack to play behind.
Yeah, that's massive, and Mull's done really well since he's gone to Leeds, and he's bided his time.
Vegan power, mate. It's plant power.
He's bided his time and has stuck in there and done what he's been asked to do by Leeds coaching staff, and it's paid off in the long run, and he's ended up being one of their standout players towards the back end of the season. And Singo's same. He's been coming through the ranks for years. He's played a fair number of games now, but he's getting into that mantle of being a leader of the pack, and he's a big, tough, aggressive thing, isn't he? And I hopefully they both do exactly the same for us, and with the other boys, Louis McCarthy, Kyle, people like that, we get behind. It's always nice to play behind a good pack.
I think the Ireland pack is right up there with the best in the competition. I'm looking through the squads, and Tonga look pretty strong in the pack, but you guys with yourselves and Brad Single and Andy Mullally, obviously Mickey Mack, the most aggressive man in rugby league. It certainly gives you a chance, if to build a platform for every game. You must be confident.
Yeah, definitely. We've had sort of two get-togethers now, and it's all about getting all lads together, know each other and stuff like that. But I'm pretty confident we can go out there and we can give a good account of ourselves, and hopefully, we just go a game at a time and see where it takes us, Simo.
One thing is, you've got a really tough. It's going to be a bit of a journey. Has Evie been to PNG before?
No, never, mate. That's something I'm super excited about. It's not a place that you would normally go and visit, is it? So we're lucky that we're involved in something like this that lets us, get them life experiences and add towards some of my stories.
Yeah. But the stories, it's going to be good. I think going out there, it's like you said, you're never ever going to go and book an holiday. So to have the experience to go there, and a lot of the boys have told us not to leave the hotel, so there's a lot to look forward to.
12 o'clock in the afternoon, middle of the day, heat, and they do not hold back. No, that's going to be a game when you boys have got to bring your biggest cojones onto that pitch and get ready.
That's when you get the ball and you go, Mara.
Yeah, no worries. I'll just get banged about all day, usual. But we're looking forward to it, mate.
Mate, thinking of the World Cup, are you confident? Are you quietly confident?
Well, our aim is obviously to make the quarters and see how we go from there. So obviously we got a pretty competitive group. So we'll see how we got. Italy are pretty strong. Obviously PNG a strong team. Wales as well.
You've got a tough group. You've got a real tough group.
Yeah, tough, but more. We got a good chance of getting through. That last World Cup we had Australia, England, and Fiji. So. Everyone wrote us off, and obviously we didn't do too well. But this year we got a really good chance of definitely getting into that final 8.
You're looking forward to this. It's another journey, another story in the life of Mickey McLaurin. You played for England, you've been there, done it. Now you're representing your heritage with the Irish team, and you've got a real good set of lads, especially a forward pack. You must be excited.
Yeah, I can't wait for it, Simo. Played in 2008. I was only 19, and I'm at the other side of my career now. I'm 29, so it's always good to go over to Australia, and with a good set of lads, like you say, as middle's looking quite strong. So we're not just going there to make up the numbers. We're going to try and compete and qualify out of this group. So fingers crossed, it's going to be a good trip.
After a tough season and getting back to fitness and getting back in the Wigan side and starting playing well, last thing you needed were 80 minutes to go against PNG in the heat, but there's only yourself in the team that looks like a hooker. So I think Tubby's putting a lot on you, mate.
Yeah, he is. I met him for a coffee. I've never met him before. I met him up
in
Leeds.
Coffee
at
or beer?
A coffee, yeah. Promise you. and he said, you know, how do you think about playing 80 minutes? I was like, yeah, I can do. He went, well, you're going to have to. So I didn't have much of a choice really, but, you know, I'm going to have a crack, and, you know, I'm just going to do my best for the lads, and hopefully I can stay on there for 80 minutes.
Obviously going to World Cup, I can't wait to come out. We get there for quarter-final. Will Ireland still be in it for quarter-final?
Well, like I said before, Simo, we're hoping so, yeah. We've got some big games, Italy, PNG and Wales, so, you know, we're quietly confident. You know, I don't think bookies have got us to qualify, but, you know, in 2008 we had Tonga and Samoa in this group, and we beat them and qualified, so, you know, we've got the belief in the squad, and, you know, fingers crossed we can do it.
How is Toronto? How's the journey been? Are you still enjoying it?
Yeah, loving every minute of it. Like, I can't put into words like how good it is out there. You've just got to experience it. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, you know, we see like people doubting it and stuff on social media and stuff like that, but until you go out there and experience it, like you've experienced it yourself, like it's just another world.
You've got lads like Bailey, who's literally set up home in Toronto. He loves it that much.
He's there now.
He's there now, that's what I mean. Seen it over there. And you've signed some massive players, like huge players. Ashton Sims, Joe Westerman, like top level Super League players. David Argyle and Rolls are serious out there. You will be in Super League in a year.
Well, that's the aim, obviously. I mean, bringing players in, like you've said, will bring like a different aspect to the club in terms of professionalism and stuff like that, which is what the club's looking for, and we need these type of players to push forward and go to Super League. So yeah, we're looking forward to next year, and like I said, the aim is Super League.
You've got a team to forward pack, firstly, to build a platform, but a set of backs that are very competitive as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, I think the team that we've got together is a good team. So there's no reason why we can't be qualifying and, you know, and pushing on to the next stages of the competition. Like you say, the players that we've got, you know, are top Super League players. So, you know, there is no reason why we can't qualify.
Mate, Australia, it's going to be warm. It's going to be hot. Were you not tempted to get rid of the old wolf hair?
No, I don't. I think a few people might fall out with me if I get that cut off. So
watch out for Mickey Mac. He's got his clippers in his bag, and let's be honest, there's nothing you could do if he actually did it. He would just. He's too hard for you. It's too scary. So I might see you.
I'm
with
all
a
right with
skinny.
Mickey. No, I'm all right with Mickey. Actually, he's a fellow Leeds lad, so he'll look after me. I'm all right with him there.
Now you're heading out as part of the coaching staff for Ireland to the World Cup in Australia. It's very rare anyone gets the chance to do that. You must be really excited and really proud.
Oh, really proud of my heritage, obviously my Irish connections, and I think everybody, and just to coach a different group of players, you know, the challenge of that, and we've got 3 tough games, Italy, PNG, and then obviously we've got Wales. So our ultimate aim is obviously to qualify. So, but coaching a different group of players, getting them all to buy in, getting them to connect with each other, and you know, it's a challenging thing to do, and we want to be successful, so it's exciting.
It's very different opposition as well, because you've got an Italian squad there who've been building for quite a while now, since the last World Cup. They've got likes of Aidan Guerra, James Tedesco, some very, very good established NRL players. You've got PNG, who are a complete different kettle of fish. 2 o'clock in Port Elizabeth, real tough area to go to and play rugby, in a tough time of day in the heat. And then you've got Wales, who John Keir, he's been coaching here before. He's a very, very wily, smart coach. He's not going to give you an inch. So you've got some real tests from a coach's point of view. Maybe 3 very different game plans.
Oh, without a doubt. If you look at the Italy game as a whole, and they know nothing about us, they'll know obviously players. We know some of their players, but it'll be about us and us making sure that we've prepared well for the 2 weeks leading up to that game, that we've got our game right. So that's absolutely crucial, and obviously he's been able to adapt and apply different game plans within that game itself. So and we're dealing with experienced players, you know, winners within our squad. So it'll be a real challenging game, that.
Whether it's power station, factory or stadium, covering installation or maintenance, Spec, the specialist power contractor to industry.